I mean, they say that. They won't tune in.
Oh, what? No, none of those people are liars. You
Are
calling
you
Dead
good
Weeb a
friends with
liar? Are you calling?
I wouldn't trust. I wouldn't trust his testimony in a court of law.
Are you calling Sichi a liar?
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy with the
Oh.
avatar of the thing.
Of what? Describe the avatar.
Well, it's of a female anime person, and she looks very pleased about something. I've always assumed it's just that, like, she came home from a long day at work, and her roommate had done the dishes, and it wasn't her job, but she did it anyway, and it was a really nice thing to do. And she's just so happy. She's like ecstatic that she doesn't have to worry about this, and she can just relax after a long day at work. You know, we've all been there.
You've been there like that after seeing dishes being made.
Dude,
Like, dishes being done.
So happy. I mean, has this ever happened to you? Have you ever come home from a long day at work and your roommate's like, hey man, I cleaned the whole house. I know I didn't have to do it, but I did it. See? So you can understand. You would make that face. You would make that face if that had happened to you.
Okay.
You would know.
Okay, I posted to it in the Discord. Warhammer Vermintide 2, great game, on sale. Why not that?
That's true. Vermintide. I'm just not feeling first person hit stuff with a sticky.
I mean, you can use guns or magic.
It does sound more
Or
appealing.
bows. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. We talked about this before, but playing Skyrim, playing Oblivion, playing anything, I basically turn into a stealth archer every time. And I thought that was just kind of like, well, it's, you know, some people do that. But yeah, man, if you ask Reddit, everybody's like, all right, I'm going to start a new character in Skyrim. It's going to be a two-handed mace guy with this other thing. And like 10 minutes in, they're like, oh, I'm a stealth archer again. It's like, well, yeah, it's just kind of the best way to play these games, it turns out.
Yeah, it's pretty effective.
Is there stealth archery in Vermintide 2?
You can play as a wood elf, and she's pretty quiet with the bow, but it's not strictly speaking a single player game. You play with bots if you don't have people.
Fair enough. Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't feel like it lends itself to sneak very much. It's like, holy crap, the horde is coming. Deal with it.
You can sneak through like a lot of parts, and then they'll be like, "Oh crap, here's a horde," and then you'll have like a fight in an area. But other than that, if you are stealthy and don't run around like using loud guns or explosive barrels, you won't attract undue attention, which can make the runs much easier.
Okay. So it's not that you can stealth the whole thing, but you can make it easier for you if you're quiet.
And there's storm vermin, which are basically just like they look like Roman soldiers in like just rat people, obviously, but they're in like metal plate with red sashes and stuff, and they're pretty hard to kill because they only take damage from their head, but rats' heads are pretty small.
They wear clothes?
Yeah, these are rat people.
Are they sentient? Are we murdering sentient beings?
Yes, but it's them or us. So
Okay. I was just under the impression this was like monsters are coming to kill you. They're just mindless killing machines, but...
no, these are like they have a society and everything. Like I don't know how to explain it to you. They're sentient.
Okay. So they're...
Yeah.
Wow. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But
it's very much us or them though. They will kill all of us and eat us to death.
Gotcha. Well,
If
in
we're
that
lucky.
case, fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose. Well, all right. Maybe
But-
once I'm done with The Witcher 3 for the second time, I'll pick that up.
Okay.
I don't know. I still need to watch your Ron Weasley show, and
I mean, you don't. It's
gotta
nothing I
give
tell
it-
you to put on the list is like you have to do it at some point. Put it on the list, and if you feel like it,
I have to give it a try. It's only fair.
sure.
And apparently, I have to watch Mob Psycho 100.
Okay.
Do I?
I've heard I don't know. I've heard good things, but I haven't seen anything about it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Maybe we should try it. Maybe we should try to watch like a couple episodes before the next pod, and we can talk about it.
Mob Psycho
Yeah.
100.
Mob Psycho
I'm
100.
not Where can you see it?
I don't. Here's the problem. You're in Australia, so
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is
Gotcha.
if you like, do I need to buy this? Do I need to pirate it? It says I can watch it on Crunchyroll, but if it's only in Japanese, I'm not going to do it.
Apparently, the Funimation website has Mob Psycho 100 on DVD. Not helpful.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
This has to be streamable. Search. Search by shows.
Crunchyroll does have it.
Oh, nice.
And unskippable, unmutable ads. That's great.
The best kind of ads. Mob Psycho 100. Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, and German. Wow. And it looks like it's just one season, so this seems pretty doable. And it's got an average rating of 5 stars out of like 300 ratings, so that's pretty nice.
Okay. I'm not gonna watch it. It's only in Japanese.
What do you mean it's only in Japanese? They don't have subtitles?
I have subtitles, but I'm not gonna watch it in Japanese with subtitles if I don't have to.
But you do have to, because there's nothing else.
Well, the alternative is don't watch it.
Well, but then what will we talk about? I know, we should watch Attack on Titan.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Next week we can't talk about this anyway.
Oh, right, because we do have another thing going on.
Yeah.
Maybe we could talk about that with the other thing that's going on.
I can't guarantee that the other thing going on will have much to say about it.
Well, we could talk to the other thing going on beforehand.
I don't think it's a good idea to impose requirements on them.
But really?
Being like, hey, we like you for you, but make sure you've seen this other thing.
Well, sure, it gives us something to talk about.
You think we're gonna need something to talk about?
Maybe?
Uh-huh.
No? All right, fine. Probably not. Fine. In 2 weeks, we could talk about Mob Psycho 100. Or maybe
right,
Attack on
fine.
Titan.
Probably not Attack on Titan. There's 3 seasons of that, and I'm 2.5 seasons behind.
Well, then I will talk about Attack on Titan on this episode by myself because I just caught up with season 3.
Alright.
Should I do it now? Can I do it now?
Sure. If you're going to be talking to yourself, you can record it whenever and I'll tack it on at the end if you want.
No. There will be things you can have input on.
Oh, okay. So you're not really going to be talking about it by yourself.
No. Nope. There will be things you'll have understanding about. So, Levi?
Mm-hmm.
The dude who's like really great at killing stuff and super chill and everything.
Yeah.
So there's actually a reason for it.
Okay.
I always just figured they were like, this guy needs to be super cool and awesome just because. And I was like, this is dumb. Why do they do this sometimes in shows? But there's actually an in-story explanation for it. Now, this could be something they added later because they were like, we can't just have, an awesome character who's great at fighting for no reason. We have to come up with a reason retcon it. So let's do that, which I'm still annoyed by. But anyway, the bottom line is that the true rulers of humanity the royalty have this ability to basically alter the memories of the people. So that's a superpower. But there's a couple specific bloodlines that are immune to it, that cannot have their memories altered. And also these people have some like extra strength and like stamina abilities too. Like it's just this genetic thing. I don't know. It's a world where people can turn into titans, so who knows. So bottom line, Levi is one of those people. He's like, they're the Ackerman family who has this special power available to them. They can draw on it and makes them stronger and faster than everybody else. And so that's why he has this thing. He doesn't know, like he has no idea that this is like his bloodline or anything, but that is the explanation. And I was like, oh, well, that's good to know. I mean, it's not like part of the main plot or anything, but it's just nice to get some interesting backstory on some of these characters we've known for a while.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I said, I have some concerns.
It's manipulating a reason for why he's more competent than other people, rather than putting it basically, instead of saying, oh, he's just more experienced and he happens to have a really good handle on the 3D movement required with the gear, and How to Kill Titans. No, it's just he's special bloodline. Don't worry about it.
It is-
Metachlorians,
so
whatever.
it's special bloodline. I mean, plus he grew up on the streets and was like taught to fight from the time he was 4 years old. So that's part of it too, is that he has worked his butt off at this. This is all he's ever known. And that what gives him that extra little edge is that, yes, he does have this special bloodline going on.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. The other interesting thing is that Eren is, holy crap, moderately capable at things towards the end of season 3. It's only taken 2.5 seasons for him to stop screaming and crying and being unable to contribute in any meaningful way. But he finally did it, and I'm so proud of him.
Basically the same timeline as Deku. 3 seasons, and now he's useful.
You know what? That's absolutely correct. I hadn't thought about that. But yeah, Deku and Eren are basically the same person.
Yeah, sure.
God, it's amazing. Absolutely incredible. So, Aaron's doing good stuff. They're starting to answer some questions. Apparently, the next season is where they're finally going to get into the basement of Aaron's house, which has all the answers to everything.
Are they still not in there?
Oh, heck no. Goodness no. We are still not there, but we're close. They're about to launch the raid into that part of the city that they lost in season 1 and haven't been able to reclaim because they can't rebuild the wall.
You mean episode 1?
Yes, I do.
One of the biggest plot points, things that the story arcs that they set up in episode 1 is that Eren has this key to the basement that his father gave him, and that he's gonna find something in there. 3 seasons and they still haven't gotten there.
Nope. April.
Who's writing this? Was it the same people that were writing season 2 of The Walking Dead? Because that moves just as slowly.
It is pretty slow. Yes.
Okay.
And honestly, in season 3, there aren't a whole lot of Titan attacks either. It's a lot of people talking, which
I mean, I'm fine with.
Still pretty good. Yeah, definitely still pretty great. There's a lot of smart stuff going on. There's some political intrigue. They're trying to figure out what's behind all this. Because, I mean, the whole concept is you can keep fighting Titans forever, but until you figure out where they're coming from and what's going on here, you're never going to actually have peace, you know?
Right.
So, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a lot of good feel-good moments, and again, like I said, Eren doesn't suck entirely, though he still is a giant whiny crybaby. And what else? Mikasa has no character growth whatsoever. She's just still a stone-cold, incredible fighting badass for no reason whatsoever.
Does she have any special bloodline?
No, except that she is from the East, and apparently that's all you need in this show, is if you're from the East, you're good to go.
Okay.
And she's the only person in all of society that is from that part of the world, so clearly she's awesome.
Okay.
Kind of speaks to the mentality of the people who are writing Attack on Titan, but
yeah. What's east of Japan?
I mean, technically California, but they're not in Japan. They're in Germany.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is that where the show's set?
Yep.
They don't set that up. They don't set up specifically where it's set.
Not in the show, but there's so many blonde people.
Not in the first 5 episodes. What I mean, because obviously I would have known that it's set in Germany.
Right. I don't think they're ever specific about it, but just the names of the people involved and how they look generally, and kind of the countryside involved. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember where I saw that in particular, but it's pretty well established that it's Central Europe.
Fair enough.
That said, does it snow? Have I seen snow on this show? Because if they're in Germany, they definitely get snow.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily set in the real world. It's a fictional country in the real world. Its location is not known.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to coming back in April.
Okay.
And
you gonna have time to watch it in April with Game of Thrones?
Holy crap, Game of Thrones, and probably they're gonna run Silicon Valley at the same time.
and that's when the next Avengers movie comes out as well.
Well, but sure, that's just one like 3-hour commitment.
Yeah,
It's
one
way more-
3-hour equipment, but you could have that's still a whole day in that month that you have to give up any potential of watching other things.
True. Truth.
Yeah, yeah.
And then,
And then
Attack on Titan is only 6 episodes, so that's only 6 hours.
It's only 6 episodes a season.
No, it's 12 or 13, but they broke the last season into 2. So this is final season part 2 coming up in April.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Damn you, Sopranos.
Seriously, let's get that train started.
Yeah.
And then there's Westworld. Westworld coming out.
And My Hero Academia might be back by then as well.
Oh my gosh, I can't do it. There's too much. Westworld is a summer show, so I think I'll be okay with that one.
Okay. Fair enough.
Ugh, Westworld. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in April, but I think I can pull it off. It's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm. You got plenty of time to prepare.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'll have to schedule out my time. Plus, I won't be casting for WESG in April either, so that helps.
That's still going?
No. It's done. Not that they've told us it's done. Not that they have the courtesy to be like, all right, that's it. Thanks. We've wrapped it up.
Yeah.
They're just ignoring us entirely.
Fair
Well,
enough.
and the best part is that, okay, so 2 best parts. The first part is it got to the point where they just stopped telling us when stuff's going to happen until the day of.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be there was kind of a schedule that generally explained when things were going to be. And for the last week or so, it was just, hey, we need someone to cast this. It's in an hour. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is ridiculous.
I assume no one cast that then.
Oh, no. We managed to get people. Because,
Oh.
again, we had people in Europe and all across the U.S. And so we got a lot of these time zones covered. Where it was
But,
okay, well, it is 7 p.m. in Germany right now, and that works for Graben. So he was just happened to be on Discord and was like, I got this. It was pretty cool, actually.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So that was annoying. The other thing is,
Graben.
I'm not sure if you saw this, but Laughing Games actually wrote up this big post about the WESG qualifiers and how it was handled because the Pylon Show had talked about it in the latest episode.
Okay.
Did you hear about this at all?
No, I hadn't heard about this at all.
So the Pylon Show was like, all right, so the WESG qualifiers are being cast right now, or it's over, or something like that, and it's being organized by Laughing Games and Falcon Paladin, and we were both like, wait, what? Not strictly true. And then they just talked about how the viewership was down and how it didn't seem like it was well organized, and Laughing Games was like, I gotta correct the record, and I was like, I don't know that I care all that much, but go for it, man. So I'm gonna link I'll link it to you.
Yeah, In Control and Artosis, they I think they would be on, because if they're saying it was poorly handled and mismanaged and stuff.
Yep.
But when they find out that it all the kind of stuff that was just pushed on you, being like, all right, here's time zones, maybe there'll be games between these dates, and just let you go from there and organize the casters, they'd probably be on your side and talk about it a bit more. So
yeah. So maybe it was a good thing
it's-
that Laughing Games did this.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I don't have
Yeah.
a problem. I'm not offended that he did this. I just don't know if they're going to change anything. Other than, maybe it does help the Pylon Show guys understand what happened, which is cool.
yeah, and people with that kind of level of notoriety in the StarCraft 2 scene might actually be able to get some change, or at least some attention brought to WESG about it.
That is very true. I like that.
And then you might see some change, but you're just eh. So I don't know.
I am.
If
kinda
everyone was more like you, nothing would happen.
That is a good point. Good thing Laughing Games exists.
Yep.
Yeah. So, he's actually fairly hopeful that another organization will take care of it next year.
Fair enough.
The other thing is, so Laughing Games wanted to cast this for months before it was announced. He knew it was coming up, and he was tweeting at people in WESG, and he got an email address he was sending emails to. Nobody ever responded at all in any capacity to be like, hey, thanks, here's a thing.
Yeah.
And so then the only reason he finds out about this is because I randomly get contacted on Twitter by this second level middle management guy who's been tasked with finding StarCraft casters in English for this. He goes on Twitter, Googles, or does a search for StarCraft 2 caster, finds me. It's like, hey man, you want to do this thing? And then I just happen to know Laughing Games because we've cast before together, and I grabbed him. And that's the first time he ever heard this was happening at all.
Wow.
So he's upset about that. And then as soon as he posts this thing on Twitter, he gets contacted by one of the people from WESG. And they're like, hey, man, you could have contacted us about this. And he's like, are you kidding? I tried for weeks and weeks and weeks, and nobody ever got back to me about anything. Like, you guys can't be radio silent, and then when somebody calls you out on it, be like, no, communication lines were open. Anyway.
Yeah. That's, yeah, okay.
So there's that. So WESG is complete. They said they're going to pay us in like the end of January, which, sure, whatever, guys. It's cool, I guess. That's only 2 months, 3 months after we did this thing.
Yeah, no, that's not okay.
No, not great.
No.
But
next time, just turn that down.
Well, if it's the same organization, I will. But if it's somebody else in charge, I'll give them a shot. I don't know. Maybe get some things handled up front.
So I'm looking for something at the moment.
Okay.
Because there's something we were going to talk about the other day on stream. But we decided to save it for today.
Okay.
Do you remember what that was?
Are you kidding? Of course I don't. I don't remember anything ever.
It's about a new released game console.
Oh, yeah, Soulja Boy. I remember.
Yeah, the Soldier game console. So basically, someone found that you could buy the exact same thing on a website called AliExpress, which is cheap Chinese knockoffs.com, basically. Basically, the console is garbage. It's maybe like $20 worth of parts being sold for $100, and then marked up by the Soldier game version, right?
Right.
Is like making it like $200. And so I've been looking for it on AliExpress, and I can't find it, but I have found like the exact same model, but instead of actual photos of it, it's just photos of the box it comes in.
That's fantastic.
Oh no, now they have some photos. I had to scroll down a little. But all the main photos are just the photos of the box. And the box says Ultra 4K on it.
What? Okay, that's fun. That's a fun thing to put on the box.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
And I can't find the specs, but I did watch a YouTube video, which is where I found that like it could be found on here. But it basically has about 128 like megabits of RAM.
What?
It's
what year is it? How is that even possible?
it's really like anemic in terms of the specs. It has 800 games preloaded on it. So it's probably running ROMs. Emulation. Yeah. It's looking like a real piece of garbage.
This is a good tweet. Imagine you're a kid waking up Christmas morning, running downstairs and opening your presents, hoping to find a PlayStation 4, only to be greeted by a Soulja Boy game console. Oh no, you know that's going to happen too. There's some parent out there who's like, kids seem to like this.
I hope not.
I bet it will. There are enough parents and grandmas out there who don't know anything that this has happened.
Maybe. But, yeah, so I'm looking at it on the soldierwatch.com website where you can currently buy it 25% off for $149. They don't list the specs, but it says that it's for Soldier games, PlayStation, Neo Geo, PC, Sega, GBA, NES video games, and then it has age over 3 years old.
What does that mean?
I assume it means like recommended age. It's not like age you give like to kids 3 and above. But the way it's shown, because this is literally copy paste from the alley page of the same product.
Yep. Age. Colon.
It
over
looks
3
like
years old.
It looks like the product is 3 years old.
That's just a bad translation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I like how it says 3,000 built-in games here.
Really?
Yep, I found another one.
Because the Soldier handheld has 3,000 games.
Ah, okay. So that must be what this... Oh, yeah, this is the handheld game console. It is.
Yeah.
It weighs 0.35 kilogram game electronics. It's a new standard of measurement. Game electronics, kilograms.
If you click on the 6th picture, the one with like build-in 3,000 plus games, not built-in, build-in. Yeah, build-in 3,000 plus.
Build in. Also, in one of these, it says direction key with 3 eyes.
Huh. Okay.
And also, there is an indicator to a hand rope hole on the this handheld.
Yes.
What's a hand rope? Do they mean stylus, maybe?
No, hand rope, so you can put like a band, kind of like the don't throw it into a TV on the Wii.
Yeah, like a little wrist
straps.
lanyard or something, right? Straps.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yep, this was definitely not originally written in English, that's for sure.
No.
You can connect it to your TV. It supports... Oh my gosh, it's got the red, white, and yellow connectors. What TV has red, white, and yellow connectors in this year?
It's good. I mean, I would also like to point out that it's bragging. One of its features is game speed is 1-to-1 output.
Wow. Wait, what? I don't understand any of that. Wow, what?
None of that makes sense.
I mean, I do try to find game consoles with 2-to-1 output, but 1-to-1's okay, I guess. No, you know this is going to happen. You know there's someone that heard about this on the radio or like saw an ad on the web for it and is like, oh man, this has 3,000 games? My son Timmy will love this. And then Timmy's like, what is this garbage, Santa? Why would you do this to me? Santa paid $150 for this. You be grateful, Timmy.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
How is Soulja Boy not getting the pantsuit off him? That's what I'd like to know. This has been out for a while now.
So what I'm assuming it is he's not manufacturing these.
Fine.
In fact, he's not even really selling them. If you buy one of these, my best guess is that he takes your money and then places for an order on the AliExpress version and then puts in your shipping details for you. And that's why he is legally protected, quote unquote.
That seems way complicated.
It is, but when you think about it, he's still running off with $90 every time. And having a script do all the work.
His Twitter feed is just rap lyrics. Like, there's literally nothing going on here.
No, really?
Yeah.
I'm somehow not surprised.
I mean, it's just like links to his Instagram posts, and he actually tweeted an article from KeenGamer.com.
Oh, really?
Let's see what if the article is critical. I'm really interested that Soulja Boy would tweet this out.
Oh, it won't be. It won't be. It's not going to be critical, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Holy crap, you're right. It's like, straight up, here's some things that are happening. We don't have any questions at all.
What website did you say this was?
KeenGamer.com. Here's a link. That doesn't look legit.
Because there was also one by Gamer Revolution that was basically just hey, he's putting out a thing. It's going to be great.
Here's a link.
Kids are going to love it.
Bye.
Yeah.
Wait. You can play Smash Brothers Ultimate on this thing? That doesn't seem to make any sense. There's nothing in there that said Switch emulation. Was there?
I don't believe there was, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was bragging a bit. If he would say that. Like, it would not surprise me.
Okay, hang on. Where am I handheld at? Catalog, handheld.
I'd like to point out you can buy gift cards for $10, but there's only one thing you can buy for $10, and it's the AirPods.
Right. Discounted.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing on here that says that it can Game Boy Advanced, Game Boy Color. I don't know what FC, CP1, or MD are. Do you have any ideas?
Dunno.
I don't.
Nope.
Okay, so this is one of the most brazen scams I've ever seen in the gaming world. This is like worse than the Oyo. I feel like the people behind the Oyo gaming console are at least trying something.
Just to be fair, you know it's pronounced Ouya, right?
Nope, sure don't.
Ouya.
I don't care because it sucked, but the point is, I never bothered to learn how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
And
But
that thing I feel like was less of a scam than this is for sure.
found it.
Found
I
what?
found the... Oh, that is a long link.
Yeah, it is.
That is the AliExpress version.
Okay, so the AliExpress version is $80, and he's selling it for $150?
Yeah. And 150, but it is currently marked down on a launch sale down from 200.
Yeah. It's a trick. They're intending to sell it for $150 and being like, it
All
should
right.
be $200, but look at us discounting stuff.
This one's got the specs.
Okay.
Its CPU is a dual-core CPU. That's all it says.
That
RAM?
That's almost meaningless. There's so little information. Okay.
The RAM is 128 megabytes of DDR2 RAM.
Oh my gosh.
And it's going to do Switch emulation.
It's got 4 gig of
Also-
RAM in there. Nope, not RAM. Nope, that's storage. I
Yeah,
just see
yeah,
4 and I
it's-
assume it's RAM. Nope, that is hard drive. Oh, and it has HDMI. HDMI, AV out, gaming, and movie. What is that?
It supports 4K gaming.
And look, there's that thing again. It supports CP1, CP2, Arcade, GBA, MD, SFC. What? I don't know what this is.
I googled CP1.
Yeah.
And Capnal Animal Therapeutics. It's a company. It's a pharmaceutical company, so I don't know what that has to do with games.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Nothing.
Um,
So I mean, this is just classic China stuff, ripping off American things. We can't do anything about it because American copyright law doesn't have any standing in China.
yeah.
And here you are, and Soldier Boy's like, this is a business opportunity.
He hasn't even done anything to make it look like it's a Soldier game console. He doesn't put even a sticker on the front that says Soldier game.
Right.
You literally just get this. And it's advertising. One of the pitches advertises Lara Croft, the new
Right.
Tomb Raider games.
Right.
This thing could not run a Tomb Raider game.
No, I don't think this can run Street Fighter 4, which is another thing that it's advertising.
It's true. I don't think this could run the original Tomb Raider game.
I don't think so. I just keep going back to this ad that says it can play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
It's great. It's a new game.
There's-
They need it in this SEO, so just throw it out there.
There's no... I gotta read these comments. Comments, be smart. Come on, comments. Yeah, it's all jokes. All right, so they know.
Yep.
I mean, it's one level that this is being attempted. It's another level that this is going to work at all.
Yeah. I hope to God that the only people buying these are tech reviewers on YouTube who are going to make the ever-living shit out of Soldier Boy for the rest of time for this.
I hope so.
And not people ordering Christmas presents. I'm not gonna lie. My family have been asking me what I want for my birthday that's coming up.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No. Dear God, please do not get me this.
Holy crap. Holy
It
crap.
is such a scam.
There are going to be tweets from teenagers on Christmas Day. They're going to be like, I got one of these wrapped up in Christmas wrapping paper from my parents or from my grandma. I'm so angry right now.
Yep.
They said it could play Smash. I don't know, what are the specs on the original N64? Hold on. N64 specs. Could it run original Smash Brothers? It actually only... What the... 4 megabytes of RAM? That seemed low.
No, that seems about right.
For 96? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so it can probably run the original Smash Brothers then.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they meant. They just linked the wrong image in their advertisement.
Maybe. I doubt it.
Yep, probably.
Seller guarantees. Refund if you don't receive your order. Full refund or partial refund if the item is not as described. I would like a full refund. These composite cables will not output 4K.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be on Twitter on Christmas Day, and I'm just going to be searching Soulja Boy hashtag and just see like the rage come in.
I hope there isn't. That's all I can say about
Me too. I hope I'm utterly disappointed, and then I'll be happy. It's kind of a win-win for me.
Yeah. I'd just like to point out I just noticed the picture has like a free 32 gig flash card.
Yeah.
32 gig flash card. Built in 43 PS1 games.
Okay.
Which is more games than the PlayStation 1 Classic comes with, to be fair.
That's true, although not hard.
Not hard.
PlayStation 1 Classic has some weird choices.
Yeah. Definitely. I've got one sitting just over there, actually.
Oh, okay. Are you happy with it?
No, it's not for me, so I can't open it.
Oh, never mind then. I'll have to get a review on that
present.
later.
I mean, if it was for me, probably not, because I think everyone has 5 or 6 big games from like the PlayStation 1 era that are individual to them that aren't on that, right? Because I've seen people being like, how come Mega Man Legends wasn't on there? I'm like, I don't know, it's Mega Man, I don't care.
There's like 100 Mega Man games. Yeah.
Yeah. But my point is, everyone's got different games, so I think the game selection is always going to be something that's very hard to nail down.
True.
And with the upcoming remakes of Crash Bandicoot, Crash Team Racing, and Spyro, I think there was no way they were going to put out those ones on there for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because apparently putting out, 20-year-old games is somehow going to impact sales of the remakes.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking that Nintendo did a better job with including classic like games that everybody wants with their Super Nintendo, but that said, I remembered it doesn't have NBA Jam, it doesn't have Chrono Trigger, it doesn't have Final Fantasy IV, doesn't have Pilot Wings. I mean, there are some really classic games that always come up when people talk about what are the best Super Nintendo games that just aren't on the list.
Yeah.
So
But at the
Nintendo's
same
not
time,
perfect at this either.
Yeah, but I think people are particularly disappointed because I think like the 3 or 4 classic games that almost everyone can agree on would be like Spyro the Dragon and Crash the Bandicoot.
Correct. No Spyro and no
Right.
Crash is weird.
Yeah. Fortunately for me, it has like 3 games that I played a lot of. Well, it's a mix because I was young, I don't remember very well, and I either played a lot of them or I watched my dad and my brother play a lot of them, which are Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid,
Yep.
and it's called Siphon Filter.
I've never heard of that one. Siphon Filter.
Exactly. No, not a lot of people have heard of it, but it's on there for some reason. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Third-person shooter stealth game. Released in 1999. That seems pretty cool. I'm going to pull up some gameplay real quick.
Go for it. Another thing about the
Ooh.
PlayStation Classic is they ran with like 9 of the 20 games are running the PAL versions of the games, which means they run at 25 frames per second instead of 30.
Right.
Like, yeah, so a lot of people are having issues with that when they could, buy it on Steam. Like the games on Steam, and then just run them at 60 even.
Yep. It's a good point.
Yeah.
So yeah, Siphon Filter. I mean, the PlayStation 1 has some of the most classic graphic styles in all of gaming. Like you can instantly tell a PlayStation 1 game just by the number of polygons on the general and every figure.
By the fact that it's 3D.
Exactly. Yeah. By the fact that it's 3D, like you can tell they're working their butts off to make this happen in 99. But it's just, I don't know. It's when you're going for photorealism, when you're at this level of computer graphics capability, it's hard. It is hard to do. And the result maybe doesn't look as good as you hope it would. Whereas somebody like Nintendo, who's like, clearly we can't get photorealistic with this. We're never even going to bother trying. It stands up a little bit more after 20 years, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I know that Siphon Filter obviously does not stand up after this time. But think about the games from the PlayStation that did, and that's Spyro and Crash, which are both those cartoony...
not going for photorealism at all, exactly.
Yeah, they're going for a cartoony aesthetic.
Yep. And even today...
I forgot that... Sorry, I'm watching Siphon Filter gameplay, and I entirely forgot the fact that the first level, you just start off crouched in a street somewhere.
That's fantastic. That's so 90s gaming, though. They're like, hey, you're here. And it's like, wait, what? Why am I? Just go kill stuff. But just do it, okay?
Yeah.
It also feels like it's in slow motion. I don't know if this is being emulated, maybe at a slower speed, but...
I mean, what I'm looks about right.
Okay, that's what you remember.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the animations look good. His running motion looks pretty great. He's climbing up on stuff, and it doesn't look weird or glitchy. But it's just like he's in a dream where you're trying to sprint, and where you're just like... and you
like
can't.
he's sprinting through sludge.
Yes, it is. He's sprinting through sludge.
Knee-deep water.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's making the full sprinting animation, but he's moving so slowly. I don't know. I'd probably play this. I mean, it reminds me of the original Tomb Raider, just in the, you know, the polygonal style and what they're going for and what they achieved. Yeah. I mean, I guess, man, that... Okay, so going back to Soulja Boy, if that's what this is, if he was just like, you know what? If I just tell people this is a Soulja Boy console and take their money and then just buy it off the AliExpress website for half of what they paid me, I can make a huge profit off of this, and I'm not legally culpable for anything. There's just no way. There is no way that's how that works. Is it?
I don't know if there's no way that he's not legally required to have licenses. Like, I don't know. But if there was some tiny piece of, like, fine print where it's like, the Soldier Game Boy is a receipt, and when you buy it from him, he sends you a receipt somewhere, and then you just get the console in a box from Alipay. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I did forget about that part. I forgot about that step where he just has it shipped directly from Ali whatever to your house, and he doesn't touch it. So he can't even really be considered an importer at that point?
No, I don't think so. I'm trying to remember what the term was used to describe it. It's like hot dropping. Hot drop or something.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah, but I don't think that... I'm not sure if that's accurate. Yeah. I mean, I hope he gets sued into oblivion more than he was after the 2000s ended. not that he was sued before, but he just faded into obscurity very quickly, and I hope he goes back there.
Right. This is... from top to bottom, this is an amazing story. I don't know why I don't hear more about it.
Yeah. I'm not sure why CNN's not reporting on it.
Right. I'm going to tweet at them. Hey, CNN, talk about this story. Your people like the video games, right? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not their demographic.
Probably not, no.
No.
Oh, well.
So I have a news story.
Okay.
So a couple of years ago, there was a series of news stories that ran about Salt Lake City and about how we had effectively solved homelessness by giving homeless people homes. And everybody was like, why haven't we tried this before? It's like, I don't know. Everyone's dumb, I guess. And it was this huge thing. Like, they interviewed people, and they're like, yeah, man, I just needed a place to stay, and I was able to get into this. You know, it's not a great house. They just built some kind of low-income housing. But it was nice, and it was well taken care of. And the people, you know, it seemed to help some people, and it was great. And I was like, oh, it's nice. Way to go, guys. And apparently, as of today, around $100 million were spent on homeless services in Utah last year. But an audit literally can't say whether it helped or not.
What does that mean?
It means the studies they've done for the number of homeless in Salt Lake City seem to have kind of stayed the same, if not gone up, in the last year that they've spent $100 million in trying to fix this problem.
Okay. How many homeless people in Salt Lake are there? Like, does it give a rough number? 'Cause I'm looking.
I'm looking too. According to this coalition, there are about 2,000 people who are homeless in Utah.
2,000 people, and they spent $100 million.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
The math.
I'm trying to work out. I'm just trying to work out.
The
Could
math.
you just build 2,000 homes or 200 homes and put 10 people in each? I don't know.
Right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, houses can be built for money, but they then must be maintained for more money.
Correct.
So
It's just a money pit forever at that point.
yeah. So usually, money in homeless situations isn't going to like strictly building more homes, but it's like finding them places to stay and then trying to get them on their feet so they can then afford their own housing.
Correct.
Yeah, around 1,500 to 1,800 people who are homeless in Utah. Which is, in 2015, the state reported chronic homelessness has declined by 91%.
And it was later found to be wrong.
Wrong.
It's
Yeah.
because of a difference in how they measured it in 2004 versus how it was measured in 2015. Oops.
Yeah.
Got to be consistent with your numbers, guys. So here's my thing.
Yeah.
I've had some pretty thorough discussions about this in different places over the last little bit, and I have some thoughts. Mm-hmm. There will always be a certain segment of any population that is not capable or is not interested in holding down a job and being a normal member of society that way. Whether they have mental illness or whether they sincerely do not want to work, right? Which maybe could be considered mental illness too. I don't know. But there will be these people.
I'm just gonna say, I really, really don't want to work. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
Right.
But I don't think that's. I don't think I'm mentally ill thinking that.
No, you're.
But I'm.
But if you.
But I'm willing, prepared to work because I need money.
Correct.
Right? I'm not one of those people.
Right. I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
Okay. Yep. There's a big line in the sand there between you and someone who's just literally like, I'm not going to work. The end. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yep. Whatever happens. I hate work so much. Let the consequences fall. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm saying for that certain segment of society, you can't fix them. You're not going to be like, all right, well, now you have a job and you can take care of yourself. You can pay your own rent and your own bills, and we don't have to worry about you anymore. There is a certain segment of society that will literally never, ever, ever be able to get back on their feet. And what do you do with those people? Right?
There's two... I have two thoughts on this. One is nothing.
Right.
If they don't want to work, don't let them. No, don't let them.
If one day they ask for a job, tell them no.
No. If they don't want to work, don't make them.
Right.
They can sit on the streets and beg for money.
Yep.
Right? People are always going to have spare change they can throw at them or to them. I don't know.
Yes.
Right?
But then, quick aside, then you have the story of the lady who rolled down her window to give some change to a homeless person and got stabbed in the face and died.
Yeah, okay.
That's a thing.
Yeah, but violent crime is always going to be a thing regardless
Correct.
of homelessness. You're right. I'm not saying getting rid of homeless people wouldn't lower violent crime in some scenarios and places, but I don't think it's a good, but if we have homeless people on the streets, they might stab people. It's like, okay, why not search them regularly? I don't know. Make sure they don't have a knife. Just, hey, police, if you see homeless people on the streets, instead of giving them a blanket and a bottle of water, run them through a metal detector. I don't know. But
it's hard. That's all I'm saying.
The other alternative is just to have, open housing, which you constantly pour money into, right? And it doesn't have to be, good housing. It could basically be a shipping container with a bed in it and a toilet, and just be first 100 people who get in until we fill up can have places to sleep tonight. Other than that, piss off.
Yeah.
It just comes down to whether or not the taxpayers are willing to pay for it or not.
Right. And so here's the thing. In the U.S., for, I don't know how long it was, it feels like about 150 years, we had this concept of like the sanitarium. It's this long-term care place that was funded by the government in different places throughout the country where you just sent your crazy relatives, right? The people that couldn't take care of themselves or wouldn't take care of themselves. You just dumped them in there and forgot about them.
Okay.
And then basically we got to the point as a country that we said a lot of bad stuff is happening in there because these are forgotten people and they're being abused like crazy by the people who run these things. And instead of cleaning it up, we're just going to end the programs entirely. And they don't exist anymore.
Okay.
So I think a lot of this 100 years ago would have just been, we wouldn't see as many people homeless on the streets because they'd be in these sanitariums being taken care of. But now those are gone.
Okay.
So I don't know. So maybe your idea of just setting up like heated shipping containers would work.
Heated?
I mean,
You said anything about heated?
it's cold outside.
Fine, we'll put the shipping container above a fire pit.
Okay, done. That counts as heated, technically.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're on the bottom one, you may be a little more heated than you want, but oh well. No, okay. So, heated shipping containers. Alright, because what I'm looking at, I just googled sanitarium. It also appears to be like some sort of medical institute. Like they would try to quote unquote help these people.
Uh-huh. With their 1927 understanding of mental health, correct?
Yeah, which isn't brilliant.
No.
I'm not suggesting we put doctors in shipping containers with these people. I'm simply suggesting you give them a place to sleep outside from the rain, right?
Yep.
Or inside from the rain.
Yeah. It's hard.
At the end of the day, I would like to say it is hard, and we cannot solve homelessness
Right.
in 10 minutes on a podcast.
No. Well, not. I don't think you can solve homelessness at all. Period.
Here's the thing. If your goal is to make your state have zero homelessness, you can. It's just not pretty.
No.
It's like buying your homeless people bus tickets out of town one way.
Right. And that's something that other states have absolutely done. Correct.
Yeah. I've seen reports on like mental institutions doing this called Greyhound therapy, where they buy them one-way bus tickets.
That's so horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of awful. And that technically would lower Utah's homelessness to zero.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford 2,000 bus tickets with $100 million, I don't know what you're doing with that money.
That is some real nice bus tickets. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, first class and everything.
First ultimate class extreme. The other problem is that here's another thing that happens is that in America, certain cities get a reputation of being very friendly to the homeless. Mm-hmm. And then people buy their own bus tickets and come to these cities. So like that's part of the thing that's going on with Salt Lake City as well. From what I understand is that there was this big, national news program, national news report that, Utah's giving homes to the homeless. They're really investing in this. So like a ton of people from other states were like, that sounds nice. And they came, and then that hurt the numbers because there's a whole bunch of new homeless people who weren't here 3 years ago,
Right.
So it just becomes
That makes sense.
this kind of never ending thing.
Here's the thing. If I'm homeless in America, my number one priority, if I can afford a bus ticket, is to not get a bus ticket to somewhere where it's going to be cold as shit.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
I never want to be homeless in Chicago.
No.
Right?
Or like
Minnesota.
North Dakota.
I'm getting I'm getting a bus ticket to Miami that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why San Francisco, Seattle, Phoenix, Miami are certain places in the country that they do have a lot of homeless. And I think it's because, it doesn't snow there.
San Francisco is really, really interesting because, like, on the from what I've heard from other people, I've obviously never been, but on the streets, it's your crazy meter in your head is going off as you walk past everyone. Like, is this person going to stab me? Are they mentally balanced? Are they homeless?
Yep.
But then you look at the buildings and it's like, oh, there's Apple. There's
Right.
all these big tech companies making billions of dollars, and people on the streets can't afford the rent
Correct.
because of it's this weird juxtaposition.
Yep. It totally is.
Whoa.
And I mean, yeah, San Francisco, California as a whole has the combination of being really friendly for social programs and homeless programs and stuff, and being really nice weather and being a really nice place to live. So they attract their number for sure. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. It's rough. I mean, I don't know. I don't have answers. It's just something I think about a lot.
Well, what are you doing to help with the homelessness? Are you
So
doing anything?
yeah, so there's a program. I guess it's a company in the Salt Lake called the Road Home. And they've very particularly taken families who have lost their jobs or just need a place to stay for a few nights or for a couple of weeks while they find a new job, things like that. They do the thing where they sweep for drugs, they sweep for weapons before you can come in. They make anybody found with drugs gets kicked out, stuff like that. I mean, they're like, we don't rehabilitate, we can't fix your addiction to heroin, but if you're clean and you need somewhere to stay, we'll help you out. So I toss them a few bucks every month because from what I've seen, they're a pretty good organization as far as that stuff goes, especially local.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, but again, it's just like, well, if the state of Utah threw $100 million at this and it didn't seem to help all that much, like what is my, $100 going to do? I don't know, man. Just do what you can.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where people who don't have time give money, but if it might, at the end of the day, be more directly helpful if you took that $100 and bought, I don't know, for some, water or whatever, and blankets just to a homeless person. If you just said, here's some supplies, try and stay warm.
Yeah.
Right? That might be more of a help than giving $100 to... I don't want to say... Cause where you're giving your money to sounds like a great place, but there are a lot of places that don't have open books as charities.
Right.
It's kind of like... the one I always think of is Bono and Red, the HIV awareness charity. Is it HIV? I think it is. Where basically they raised $250 million in a year, and then it came out that they basically only spent or gave $1 million away to people who needed it.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, but we're here to raise awareness,
right?
Not to give the money.
That's not the...
So, yeah, but we're all pretty aware.
It's gross. So gross. Yeah, there are actually a lot of reports in the U.S. of charities and what percentage of the money you give to them actually ends up helping people, and some of them are real scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before you give money this holiday season, do a quick Google and see how much of your dollar actually goes to people in need, because some places it's 3 cents. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to give something that is always helpful this holiday season, give blood.
That's
100% of your blood will help people.
That's true. I can't think of any organizations that will profit directly from your blood, but maybe they exist.
The Vampires Association of America, of course. But...
Correct. Those guys. I assume that didn't have to be said, but yeah.
Right. It didn't have to be said, but I'm going to say it anyway. Those guys are a bunch of blood-sucking leeches.
Just
okay?
for those of you who don't know, right? Beautiful.
Yeah. In America, you even get paid for donating blood in America, don't you?
No, you don't.
Or is that other fluids?
Plasma, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely clear on why that is. I don't know. Law sometimes isn't based entirely on logic.
No, not entirely. In Australia, you get a muffin and a milkshake.
Yes.
For donating blood. It's pretty great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Think of us cookies and cranberry juice.
Nice.
A milkshake sounds way better though. We got to step up our game.
Yeah, I got a milkshake once. It was great.
Wow. That's fantastic. I'm on board.
Doesn't bother me either. I don't like being stabbed with a needle. The pinprick part of it is uncomfortable. But once it's in, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like there's some visceral reaction to it where you faint or you're terrified or anything.
No.
Some people, just seeing it is just a horrible experience.
Yeah, I knew a girl who would faint at the sight of blood.
Yeah.
Which Yeah,
It's not a good.
I can't imagine.
It's not a good evolutionary trait. Like, how did that get passed down over the millennia? Honestly,
How did this stick around?
yeah. Like, how are her ancestors not dead before they ever procreated? I don't know.
I
It's
don't
a
know.
mystery.
I don't know.
I have questions about a lot of there are a lot of people that I know that I'm like, how did your great 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 grandfather survive? Like, they had this and they passed it down to you, and they lived in a time when there were wolves constantly trying to eat them.
Well, the way they survived is the same way if homelessness was a gene would survive. It's other people helped them.
True. I mean, there are some parts of society that do that, but I just think there are other eras in human history where, like, if you can't pull your own weight, you just get left on the side of the road, man. There aren't actually roads.
Yeah, but there's also, I don't know. I feel like the rules on procreation are a bit looser there, so genes can kind of move through.
Well, right. But I'm just saying, how did you survive to the point where you were physically capable of procreating? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying how did somebody choose to have sex with you. That doesn't even come up at all. Like, you died when you were 5 is what I'm arguing here.
Okay. To make this a little more clearer for me, what was the trigger here that makes you think, how did your genes survive, right? Like, how did you not die at 5?
Right. So, ironically enough, my dad, he has this, like, allergy to everything going on where he's kind of low-level sick all the time, all year round, just through different allergens and pollutants in the air.
So the world is trying to kill him, is what you're saying.
Correct. And I'm like, how did our ancestors who had this and are just kind of sick all the time survive in an incredibly harsh world that was trying to kill them, right?
The answer is they're low-level sick, and that can't kill them. That's the point.
So the low-level sick protects them from actual sick.
That's true. Yeah,
Maybe.
but the low-level sick isn't fatal, right? It might be fatal in kids, but
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not fatal, but it just makes your reaction time is slower, your awareness is slower, you just have less energy than the average person. I just think overall this would lead to a point in which you don't hear a wolf sneaking up on you and it just chews you in half.
yeah, but that's what the rest of the clan's for.
Right. They're like, here's sickly Thog. Got to make sure he's in the middle of the pack at all times or a wolf will pick him off. I'm like, fine.
Pretty much.
He's
Yeah.
pretty good. He's a pretty
Also,
good storyteller, I guess.
I think the average person in our worlds these days are much less lazy. Well, not less lazy, more lazy. We're incredibly lazy.
Correct.
And that if you were to grow up eating, like, the quote-unquote Paleolithic diet or whatever it is they could eat, even if you were low-level sick, you would still be an incredibly active hunter, and that kind of lifestyle would hone your senses way better.
I don't know. Does being in better shape overcome the effects of being ill? I'm not sure that it does.
Well, it depends on, like, how serious the illness is. If you just have, like, a runny nose,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like a general fatigue and like your throat's just kind of sore all the time.
Well,
I don't know. I just feel like it makes you more vulnerable.
It does, but when you're, outrunning panthers for a living, right? I don't think people stop and go, oh man, my throat, can I have a strepsil? Right? They just keep running regardless.
Okay, so they experience it. It doesn't bother them as much when you're fighting for your life all the time, and it doesn't slow them down to the point where they get eaten.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's how these things survive.
I mean, clearly, yes, because
They do.
I'm here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you have no depth perception. How did you not, like, walk off cliffs accidentally?
Well, because I don't need it. I can shoot a basketball. I can hit a baseball. I have depth perception. I just don't have the right kind of depth perception. I don't know what it is.
Whatever it is, you have it, and it doesn't impact you from surviving, is the point.
Yeah, the body can compensate, is what you're saying. Adapt, overcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe don't drink your own pee, but...
Okay, there's one more last piece of, like, gaming news.
Yes.
Which is Obsidian have announced a new title that they're working on
Okay.
called The Outer Worlds.
Oh, no. I did hear about this.
Yeah. Do you watch video game trailers?
Nope.
Since you don't.
Well,
No?
if it's something I haven't made up my mind about, then I will.
Have you made up your mind about this?
No.
Because okay. Obsidian throws a little shade at Bethesda in it. Right? They have like, you know, in trailers how they might put up a splash screen like saying from the makers of Lord of the Rings or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? They kind of do that, and it says from the original creators of Fallout.
Is that the story though? Did they make Fallout 1?
Obsidian, yeah.
Oh, and then they got acquired?
They sold it because they were going bankrupt.
Oh, they sold the rights to Fallout.
Yeah.
And they're still alive, and they're still making games.
Uh-huh.
This is actually a brilliant time to release this information when everyone's pissed off about 76.
You mean the fact that that they were original creators?
Well, just to be like, hey, check it out. Here's the actual soul of Fallout, which has been corrupted and turned into this garbage.
So what you mean is it's just a good time for them to release the trailer?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if 76 had been this incredible success and everybody was in love with it, then I don't think this would be nearly as like well received.
Probably not. Yeah.
But
I mean, I think it still looks like a really good game.
Yeah, and they've been working on it for a while, it seems. They've got some crazy work done on this already. So it's just really nice, crazy, like, positive happenstance for them that 76 got released and sucks.
And tanked.
So they could be like, and here's a thing. Are you going to link me to a trailer? Do I have to ask nicely?
Oh, I thought you weren't going to watch it.
No, my mind's not made up on it. Oh, I found it. Never mind.
Oh, I thought you said it was.
Oh, no.
Never mind.
Nope. Where did they... Oh, at the Game Awards they announced this. Dang, that's a good platform to announce that at. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Game Awards still a shit show.
Sure, but I mean, it's not just... They didn't just put it on YouTube and be like, I hope this goes viral, you know?
Okay, yeah.
This is better. I mean, it's not announcing it at BlizzCon. It's not announcing it at PAX, but...
Yeah.
This is fine.
This is fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, first person? Looks like it's first person.
Yeah, it's first person. Yeah.
This is so Fallout. Holy crap, except spacey.
Yeah, it's space Fallout.
It's BioShock. It's kind of what it is.
I mean, BioShock's underwater Fallout, kind of.
Yeah.
Not open world.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But this might be, I believe.
This might be what?
I believe it is. Open world.
Oh, okay. I mean, everything's open world. You can't release a game that's not open world in 2018. It's hard. That's all I'm saying.
I was about to be like, Red Dead, and then I was like, shut up.
Thanks, brain. Thanks for nothing.
And then the second thing my brain came out with was Spider-Man. Wow. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'll
Breath
get
of the
there
Wild.
eventually.
Oh. Mario Odyssey?
No, I think that is open world.
I know.
All the God of War.
Is that... No. Is that on rails?
That's not open world. I don't think it's on rails. That means something entirely different.
Well, compared to open world. Like, The Last of Us is on rails. Like, you can't really explore. It's like, here's a set piece, go to the next set piece, go to the next set piece.
Yes, but on rails has its own particular meaning.
True.
Right, that's all I'm saying.
True.
Which reminds me, I played the Rambo on Rails game. Whew.
There's a Rambo game that's on rails?
Uh-huh.
Googles. To the Google.
I'll send you... I think Total Biscuit did a WTF on it. And I found like an arcade version.
2014.
Yeah.
I found it.
Yeah,
There's a 2.5 hour long play of it. Is it... What platform is it for?
PC, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But I found an arcade version of it at one point.
What?
Yeah.
Fair enough, I guess. So this one literally is like, you don't walk.
And on rails.
You don't have movement
you were
keys.
literally just the mouse.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. So that is on rails. So
that is on rails.
Hallway shooter, maybe? Is that what the what Last of Us would be?
I mean, yeah, that's one way of putting it. Where you just corridor shooter, I think is the term. Maybe hallway sounds right, but basically in like Last of Us, you get an area to quote unquote explore, but there's generally a path you just follow.
Right. And it's not like you can branch off. It's not like you can say, I want to go explore that city. No, you cannot. The story wants you to go somewhere else.
It's level based. There's like a start and an end point of the level. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sports Minute.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
I think it's about time.
All right. I have a quick one.
3, 2, 1, go.
The NBA standings are crazy right now, you guys. I know it's only 2 months into the season, if that, maybe a little bit less. But in the Western Conference, the second place team is literally 3 games ahead of the team that is in the 8th place for the final playoff spot. It is crazy how tight it is. I know it's tight every year, but it's extra crazy this year. Meanwhile, in the Eastern Conference, you have 3 teams that are under 500 that are part of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Look, I know I say this all the time. I say this every year, but especially this year, we just need the playoffs to be the top 16 teams in the league. That's it. Top 16, no matter what conference they're from. It doesn't help the crappy Eastern Conference teams to get a playoff spot and not get a lottery pick. A lottery pick would help them in the long run more than that playoff revenue would. Top 16 teams, NBA playoffs 2019, please.
Stop.
How off was I?
3 or 4 seconds.
Close enough. I'll take it. All right, cool beans. So another fun episode. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to tune into next week's episode because it's going to be an exciting one to be sure. Samacron is going to be squeeing like a schoolgirl. A bit.
My lover.
I mean,
I don't think I've got the range for it.
That's a good point. We'll figure out what it is, what Samacron's version of a squee is. Tune in next time to find out. In other news, please consider supporting the podcast on Patreon. There's a link in the show notes, as well as we have merch. We've got hoodies, we have shirts, we have mugs, a lot of fun stuff. Any requests for merch, hit me up at falconpaladin@gmail.com or hit up Samacron on the Twitters, and we can talk about it.
I did get a request today from Fatty.
You did? What does Fatty want?
Your face on a pillow.
What? Nope.
So it can sit on your face.
Wow. Fatty's engaged, right?
Congratulations to Mrs. Fatty.
Your husband immediately requested a pillow of another man's face so that he could sit on it. Wow, Samacron. We need to have the talk. All right. Well, cool beans. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. I hope you enjoyed your time with us because we enjoyed giving you this discussion. If you have any, again, suggestions about the pod at all, hit me up on email or Twitter. And until next time, as always, thanks for listening and you take care of yourself.